Okay, let's dive into a legal puzzle that seems, well, impossible. It's a story about a presidential pardon where the prison doors don't actually open. How can that even happen? Let's break it down. So, on the surface, this looks pretty simple. You see a headline like this, a presidential pardon for Tina Peters, a Colorado official who was convicted and put in jail. You'd think, okay, that's it, story over, right? But nope, that's not what happened. Even with that pardon, Tina Peters is still behind bars. And that is the central mystery here. What is going on? To solve this, we actually need to zoom out and understand something much bigger. Which brings us to our first idea, the unforgiven. This goes way beyond just a single court case and gets to the very heart of what a criminal record really means in America today. See, for millions of people, a prison sentence is just the beginning of their punishment. There's a second, almost invisible sentence that follows them for the rest of their lives, long after they've served their time. And this hidden punishment has a name. It's called collateral consequences. Think of it like a giant web of legal restrictions that sticks to you for life, creating a sentence that never really ends, even when you walk out of prison. We're not talking about some abstract legal theory here. This is real-world stuff. We're talking about losing your right to vote, getting banned from your profession, being told you can't live in public housing. For non-citizens, it could even mean deportation. These things are tied to the conviction itself, and they can follow you forever. So with all these heavy, lifelong consequences hanging over someone, you have to wonder, is there any way to hit a reset button? And that brings us to the ultimate undo button in the legal world, the power of a pardon. Now, it's really important to know that not all forms of clemency are the same. A commutation just shortens a sentence, and a reprieve just hits the pause button. But a pardon is the big one. It's official forgiveness that aims to wipe away all those legal consequences we just talked about. And this power is just massive. The Supreme Court said so way back in 1866. They said a pardon wipes out both the crime and the liability to punishment. It's basically a full reset. So why didn't it work for Tina Peters? Because even this incredible power has one critical limit. And understanding that limit is the key to solving our entire paradox. It all comes down to a simple concept: federal power, state crimes. The answer is written right there in the Constitution. It says the president can grant pardons for, and this is the crucial part, offenses against the United States. That one little phrase changes everything. So what does offenses against the United States actually mean? Well, it means America has two parallel justice systems. You have federal crimes, which break U.S. federal law, and then you have state crimes, which break individual state laws. And Tina Peters' crime, tampering with voting equipment, was a Colorado state crime. She was tried in a Colorado court, and that, right there, is the final piece of the puzzle. You've got two different systems of justice, which means you have two different systems of punishment and two different systems of forgiveness. Now we can finally solve the paradox. Okay, let's just walk through it one more time. Step 1, Peters gets convicted in a Colorado state court. Step 2, she's sentenced under Colorado state law. Step 3, the president issues a federal pardon. And the conclusion is unavoidable. A federal pardon just has no legal power, no jurisdiction over a state-level conviction. You know, the simplest way to put it is this: a federal key cannot unlock a state prison cell. It's just not designed to. Our whole system of government, this idea called federalism, is built on this separation of powers. It's there to make sure no one person, not even the president, has absolute authority over every single court in the land. And this whole situation leaves us with a really big, important question. If a presidential pardon only helps with federal crimes, what does a second chance look like for the huge majority of Americans who are convicted under state law? For the millions of people living with those collateral consequences, what does forgiveness even mean then? That's something to think about.